Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll do our next multiplayer matchup. This is going to be the Sands of Baal. I'm going to be playing as a Tyranid force, and we are going against the Necrons. It's a 2,000 point army size with an 80 point target and an 8 turn limit. Now this is the second time I've tried this map because the last time it bugs out and freezes. So we'll see if that happens here as well, and if it does, I did talk to Slytherin to kind of have a fix if this happens on your custom maps. But we'll see what happens here. Now on this one I ended up going with a Hormagaunt build. I don't know if it's going to work out well, but I've got the 2 Tervagons. I've got 4 Warriors with the Death Splitters because I find that they just work so well. I also wanted to play around a little more with the Exocrines. I've kind of had a negative view on them, but I think if you can just get your guys to stack together on big maps and then give them bonuses for the accuracy, it can work out for you. I've got the 2 Tervagons here to be able to dive and get behind guys, the gargoyles to get to the points, and then as you can see I've got a Hormagaunt army here. That's another unit that I have not used a whole lot with because I just find that they get shot down and they're a little more expensive than the Tormagons, but I think if you can actually get them to stack up, you can get some really good damage with them, especially if you're using their leap ability and you're fighting units that don't have a lot of overwatch, and that tends to be how the Necrons are. So hopefully that armor piercing will allow us to get a lot of kills and do good damage by stacking things up here. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of moving these gargoyles over to the right side here to be able to get there. And then I think what could happen here is I think these Hormagaunts could potentially be really good against, say, the Tau, where you can sometimes cross the distance and then lock their guys into melee range. Now the other thing with this map is there's a lot of trenches and things, so you can easily get your guys into cover, and so I'm hoping that by getting my Hormagaunts here into the trenches I should be able to get some kills and not have them suffer overwatch and get shot apart here, but the whole thing is to get into the trenches first. Now the one bad thing about this map is the central victory point does not count because there's obstacles over there, so again I assume that's by creator design that they want you to be fighting over these 4 spots, but effectively what that does is just cause a bunch of 2 versus 2 and then you fight over one spot continually, which kind of drags out the matches a little bit in my opinion, which is why I don't like them. But that is how this map is set up, so if that's a map design that you as a player do enjoy, this will allow you to do that. And I find that the flyers definitely work out quite well here because as you can see there's a lot of different obstacles that are in the way, and so by having hover units you can get in there and really block and capture a lot of points a bunch quicker than your opponents do. And I guess we'll just bring the Hormagaunts and the Warriors and everybody over this way so the Exocrine can come up here and potentially get some shots off. I'll bring you over here. And then ideally what I should have done is move that other guy up first, because now I've effectively body blocked this position if I want to get the overwatch, which I think I do. So that was a bit of a mistake here. We'll just run through with these guys. Now I suppose the alternative could have been is I could move up one, but I also don't want to block the vision for his shot here. So we'll keep these guys moving up. Set up some overwatches. See if maybe he'll jump over there and I can get some shots and maybe even suppress his Praetorians if he ends up doing charge attacks here. But as you can see, I got these guys over here, so it's like, dang it, why did I do that? And it's like, oh shit, I can't even get a corner turn there. So it's like, well, I guess I'm going to be bringing you over this way. At least you can start stacking up some additional synapses here. And he's coming down. Now I found that Praetorians actually kind of have a little bit of trouble getting through Griffins, geez, Gargoyles, just because they don't have a lot of attacks and there's so many models for the Gargoyles. But the trade-off is then the Gargoyles really can't do any significant damage to the Praetorians, so they will win that battle. It just takes them a couple turns to get in there and get the kills. At times it may be more efficient to actually get some shots off with range. Looks like he's got the Necron Lord as his hero here, and he's got the War Scythe loadout, so he'll be able to destroy pretty much anything I attack him with. And he does have some Scarabs that he's running down here. I think he was hoping that he could run down here and capture that point right away, as he didn't realize that it was covered with debris there. But with all of his units, he was able to clear out my units here, and he should be able to get in there and take that spot back. So we're just focusing on our body blocks here. He did go with the warriors here, and with their range 1 weapon they can do a ton of damage, and it has good armor piercing, but then he just has to get them into the right area here to be able to use their attacks. So I think what I'm going to do is try to bring these guys over here, and then maybe I can just drop some synapse attacks and either wipe out the warriors or maybe even attack. I guess the warriors are out of range, so that's a little unfortunate. So even if I were to get another range synapse creature up here, it wouldn't be very good chances to hit. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, it's not 1 tile away, so it's not like it can be a 2 tile. I think it means it still has to be right next to it. But I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to verify this real quick. So we'll put you over here. Yeah, so even with the 3, it's not very good. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to... Yeah, it's only 50%, 96 here, so let's just fire into those guys here. I think it's only going to do like 50 to 70 damage, but we'll find out. Yeah, and it's like 70 to 80, so still not great. I just want to verify that I cannot in fact jump over obstacles. Yeah, so it is in fact a range 1. That's what I thought. So we'll just start bringing all these guys up here. Fire into the Scarabs. Try to get some easy kills here, and maybe be able to finish them off. You get some additional action points. Otherwise, what I could do is just bring these guys back and then shoot into them with the gargoyles and get the kill. And then I can just put guys on Overwatch, I suppose, is the other option. So I'll pull you up to body block, and then get you up here. Yeah, they just can't do much for damage, but we can put you here to hopefully get some Overwatch shots if he tries to attack you. Bring you over here to stack some synapses. And then, I think I can just dive down here, get behind the Praetorians, and start doing some damage here as well. Yeah, good damage. And then we'll pull him back. That way those Scorpec destroyers can't come down and attack him, because they could do really good damage against him. And then this should allow us to have these guys come over here and take over the trenches. So it looks like that's going to work out for us. And now the bigger issue is all these guys over here. I would like to get some kills. Now that there's just so many obstacles over here, it's just really blocking our units, unfortunately. So pull these guys back to try to hopefully open this up, and then these guys can run up and start doing additional damage, and then you can run up here to try to get some synapses going. We can have you jump over here, and you can jump there. And you can shoot into these guys. Unfortunately, more are getting up, but then if we bring the warriors over here, hopefully we can do some more damage. We should be able to pretty easily get some kills here and start stacking up additional attacks here. Yep, good. So we'll take these guys out. So we take that back. I guess we'll just bring you up here to body block again. Not that it's going to be particularly effective. Now I do still have you. I suppose the other option is I could have had you up here and then used your exocrine attack and maybe done more there. We'll move you up to try to lock down the Annihilation Barge. Since I can't really see a whole lot here, I guess I could attack the Locust Heavy Destroyers. I don't really want all those guys attacking my exocrine though. Move you up here. Maybe move you back. Give them 50%, or I guess it's 25% melee. Can get you here. Jump you down to there to start attacking these guys and try to lock them down. Although he's got quite a bit of forces over here, more than I thought. Maybe I should have shot him with the exocrine first. Didn't really think that went through very well. I can run you over here to start attacking the Annihilation Barge, and again, that just shows poor planning on my part, because if I was going to go after this guy, I should have moved the moved my other big guy behind there to get a rear attack on him to get that additional damage, and then have these guys all sync up there, and then if he tried to get away, then I'd have everybody there to do additional damage. So that was definitely some poor planning on my part. And if I was going to go after Locust Heavy Destroyer, I should have used that first to be able to weaken him down, and then I might have even killed a model, but that is not what I did. I'll bring him over here. Drop that there. Bring you over here. And start running you forward there. Alright, so he's trying to run, so he's going to give me some free attacks. I'll take a free 30 damage. Would prefer it to be suppressed, but it is what it is. Oh, of course he landed both those attacks, so then this guy's definitely dead now with those Gauss Reapers here. Yep. Shooting our big boy here. Running those guys down. Hitting our Overwatch. Kind of hoping to get more damage than that. He's coming down here. Warriors are coming here. Definitely an overkill there, but I think his hope is that it'll keep the Overlord safe to allow all these guys to get some attacks. He's got his Warden down here. Interesting, I kind of thought he was going to use him to buff his other guys up here. Alright, so 25 to 25. Now, we've got this guy here. Start focusing down those Locust heavy destroyers, because they are a nightmare for us. And then we're having this issue. Occasionally some of these abilities bug out. So before it said I should have another turn, and this should not be on cooldown. But it is, so I'm going to use the ability. Because what it effectively did is bug out that I used that ability last turn. Because I should have a second Termagant down there, but I only have the one right now. So I don't understand why this bugs out like this occasionally. I think that's generally a sign that things are about to go haywire for you on maps, because it's starting to show that there's significant asynchrony here. And so we got a 100% chance to hit these guys. So let's just come over here and smoke them with this here. And we just about one-shot them. And it doesn't look like anybody's getting up, so we'll just attack with these guys here. Get our bonus attack. And unfortunately both of them do resurrect, and now they're actually at more health than they were the first time. So I don't know if our 2 warriors are going to be enough to get the kill there. So we'll just come over here and kill this guy and drop him. And then, if we come over here, I can use you to get a rear attack to do quite a bit of damage here. And that almost drops them there, so that worked out. We'll bring you over here because we don't want to be next to the Annihilation Barge when it blows up. And if I bring you here, this should be close enough that everybody should still be able to synapse. And then you can come over here, and then that's synapse to these guys, and you can jump into here. That did 120 some damage, so that's not too bad. Doesn't look like he has a corner control here, so we'll run you over here to try to lock down the Locust Heavy Destroyer here. Bring you up this way. Now, I would like to kill that guy. Bring you over here to smack these guys down. Start stacking up our synapses. Bring you back here. And then you can come here and attack here. He's down. We'll run you up this way. Run you over here. You can come down this way. And then you can come back and backtrack there. Now, unfortunately, it looks like you can't jump around corners here. One is still alive. But that should be enough to allow us to keep this guy alive here. Now we'll bring these guys up here, I think. Because that should be enough to help you attack the Locust Heavy Destroyer. And I think with all my other guys here, my warriors, assuming he does not resurrect, I should be able to come over here and probably finish these guys off. I think I'm going to pull back with my warriors here. Now, I do have enough for the Venom run, so that should definitely be more than enough. Okay. So one did get up there. So that should get rid of his resurrection. So, if I bring you up to here, let's try to kill the warriors, because he should be able to kill a couple models. Get the extra attack. Ah, it's behind cover. Alright, let's move you up one. Good. Come on, finish him off. There you go. Good. That's huge for us. I think we want to come after the warden for you. Probably should have moved up the warriors first to try to get an additional synapse going. Because I think if I put you in the corner here, this should allow you to attack the warden. Because I would not mind killing him, because if I drop him and the Necron Overlord, then he shouldn't have any ability to start using his command points. But he should easily be able to kill my units here with just his Overlord by himself, effectively. Which is troublesome, because he'll be able to capture that point back from me. So maybe what I can do is just bring you down here and try to aggro him towards you. And then we've got these guys over here, so we're going to pretty handedly win the left side of the screen, so I'm going to start shifting these guys to the right side, because that's where most of his forces are. And that should allow us to take this, so I'm not sure which way the Scorptechs are going to want to go. But we've got this under control. And now this is where the bugs start to happen. So what can happen here is you'll do your mission and you'll try to load the map and it'll just load. It'll start to stagger, and then you'll watch your little loading wheel in the right lower corner here, and then effectively it's going to just freeze up and then it'll crash your game. And so this is the bug that can happen on some of these custom maps for whatever reason. It always happens to me on this Sands of Ball. This, like I said, this is the second time this has happened. So I did email Slytherin about this, and they said it is a known bug. What you have to do if you still want to try to complete your match, if it's really a good match and you and whoever you're playing for really want to, you need to know the date, the time, your username and your opponent's username, and then of the last turn that you had completed, and then they're able to manually reset the match back to where they think the asynchrony broke the game, where it was stopped matching up. And so I think that would have been the turn where, as you saw, we just completed and the Termagants got deleted and it didn't record that ability going off when we did it. So I think that's a turn that would have broken it. But the chance that you're going to have that information, I can't remember if you needed date and time or just the date, but you needed that other information. They can, like I said, they can manually reset it to try to override it, and then you guys will have to redo your turn, and then that can be a start from the game, from the match, to get things going. But I think what's going to happen, and what I tend to do, is just leave the match, because I can't guarantee that I remember what date things had happened and everything. But definitely a frustrating situation, but just be aware. So I can't recommend this map. It's kind of an interesting map with kind of its setup. I don't like the 4 strategic points, as you guys know. I like having all 5, so then you have to split your forces up. I think it leads to more dynamic and strategic gameplay. But this is the second time it's happened to me, and I'm not going to do a third time on this map. So I'm just going to say bypass this map until it gets fixed, because it seems to, for whatever reason, always crash. And it's always about this mid-game point where it's like the game is just starting to get interesting, where you've just gotten your guys into position, you're slamming into each other, and then it bugs out. So it's very, very frustrating when it happens. Tips from my opponent here: you have good force selection. Just try to split the forces a little bit more when you're fighting, because you're so dominant on the right side. You're going to totally give me the left side and allow me to take that, and since we're only fighting over the 4 points, that's going to give me a significant advantage. Now I suspect what was happening is that he was planning on fighting over the middle point too, and then when it bugged out, he thought, oh, this isn't working, he shifted everybody to the right. That's a hypothesis on my part, but the one part I also noted is that he has 2 guys just sitting on his victory point on his part, with the Scorp Tech and the warriors, but I'm not coming to that point anytime soon. Other than popping down spore mines on my tier 3 ability, I can't get to you. So there's no reason for you to be wasting that much resources holding a point like that this early in the match. Towards the later game when things might happen, or you're fighting a faction like Necrons that can summon Scarabs at a tier 1 ability, then you need to be more cognizant of that, but you're wasting too many points doing that. And then just being more aware of, having units that can easily kill mass units like your Annihilation Barge. I don't know if you're aware that that has a free attack every 3 turns with that Living Lightning Cannon, but you could use that to just easily wipe out my gargoyles and all those guys stuck together, and then you would have been able to easily take that point from me. So just choose a little better with the force selection there, like the Locust Heavy Destroyer or an anti-heavy unit, so makes more sense for you to be trying to snipe down Exocrines or other high-value targets, or set up some nice overwatch so you can try to snipe my Tyranid warriors, and not wasting attacks on the gargoyles, because the gargoyles have quite a bit of evasion, so you're wasting really powerful attacks, and you could definitely use it as a deterrent for me to move my better units up. So that would be the only kind of feedback I can give you on this early in a match. I do think I need to play around a little bit more with the Hormagaunts, because I think they're probably better than what I've given them credit for. It might be a better option than using, say, the Gene Stealers, which cost 65 points, I think, which is almost twice what the 2 Hormagaunts do. So definitely something for me to consider in the future. But I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.